Welcome back to the channel, Average Flatlanders. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. It helps us out a lot. Well, what do you know? The National Park Service is back in the news again for being ding-dongs. Surprise, surprise. This time, what did they do? Geniuses over at the National Park Service decided to tell everyone to knock down every rock cairn you see in the backcountry. What is a rock cairn? Those are those piles of rocks that tell people where the trail goes, especially in some places where it's hard to see, and they are basically extremely important to the backcountry in certain places. And the National Park Service thought it would be a great idea on their social media page to post something to tell everyone, if you see any of these, to kick them down carte blanche, which is the dumbest thing they possibly could have said. I mean, these people just can't get anything right. It seems they've got a bunch of ding-dongs working for them or something. I don't know. We just had to talk about them not too long ago about telling someone to take down their American flag on Memorial Day or close to it. Geniuses. What happened? Basically, on the National Park Service Facebook page, they posted a picture or a video of the NPS volunteer kicking over rock cairns and telling other people to do the same because of the leave no trace policy. Obviously, to anyone with experience in the backcountry and who spends time in the backcountry traveling, backpacking like I have, this is something you should not do without some context, and especially telling everyone to do that is a terrible idea. It should at least be obvious to most people who've spent time backpacking and traveling around the backcountry on the roads less traveled that no one should ever do that without context. I mean, it could have serious consequences. But, you know, you've got these crazy, raving, frothing at the mouth, new age hippies who worship Mother Earth, and they think it's good, and they take everything to the extreme without any context and without any wisdom or common sense. Rock cairns have been used throughout history in many cultures and centuries for the purpose of trail markers, and especially in places where it's hard to travel. I personally have been in the backcountry in places like Wyoming or Utah, going over terrain that's kind of dry and rough, and those rock cairns are absolutely critical to keep you going off trail and getting you into trouble because some things are hard to see. The whole argument that they destroy the landscape is ridiculous. 99% of the rock cairns do not and have had no impact through the last couple hundred years of people using them. I mean, what are they worried about? Lichen and marmots in the mountain? I don't know. I don't get it. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I mean, they were specifically supposed to be put up in places where the trail is hard to follow, and you're trying to keep people on the trail, keeping them from getting off track, getting lost, getting hurt. I mean, just the fact that they would tell everyone carte blanche to kick them over is just the dumbest thing ever. I mean, obviously, if there's places where people have taken it out of context and it's just like a place where everybody thinks rock piles are cool and set them up, then sure, they should put up a sign. Somebody should go in there and clean that up. But that's not what we're talking about. 99% of the rock cairns you'll run to in the backcountry are there for a reason. They're to help people not lose their way and not get hurt and keep them on the path, the best path. And it's pretty funny. I'll leave a link to the video, the Facebook video that they posted. There was like 15 plus comments, people saying, "You bunch of ding dongs, why would you ever tell anybody? This is totally out of context. You guys are crazy," which it's kind of nice to see people like generally stepping up and say, "Hey, that's really dumb. Why would you do that?" Especially the National Park Service on their official Yosemite National Park page. Why would they even think that's a good idea? I don't know. It must be the woke mob or something thinking that, oh man, this rock cairn, once every 100 yards on this trail going to fall over and kill a squirrel. I don't know. I mean, this just, who knows what they were thinking, but apparently they weren't thinking. People that use the leave no trace argument to say you should never do that, I mean, that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. People have been using it for hundreds of years to basically, mark trails in hard to find spots, or where, a trail goes through something that's kind of hard and easy to get turned off, do something like that. I mean, having one of those every little bit to show you, hey, this is where this, I mean, people have been doing that forever. What harm has it done to the environment? And people say, oh, leave no trace. It looks like a human's been there. Well, no crap. You're out there walking there yourself, and there's a trail somewhere. I mean, what's the difference? You know what I mean? The fact that the ninnies at the NPS just carte blanche told people to kick them over, it's just ridiculous. It's dangerous also. Instead of these ding-dongs worrying about people setting up a rock cairns every once in a while, they should be worrying about the people who actually trash the parks and places that we go to. How many times have I been to parks where, there's trash everywhere, people have already, set up illegal camp spots, just tearing down, cutting down new trees, using them for fire, just throwing their trash everywhere. Why don't they spend their time actually trying to stop the pollution and destruction of public land by people that are doing that stuff and that actually cause real problems? But no, they're wasting their time posting videos telling people to kick over rock cairns that people have used for like 100 years instead of actually cleaning up and like protecting people and keeping the parks nice. Yeah, so forget about all the trash that people leave everywhere. Forget about the people that illegally camp, cut down trees, start fires where they shouldn't. Forget about all that stuff. We should definitely focus on, the rock cairns people set up every 100 feet. We should go kick them all down instead of doing what we should obviously be doing. As someone who spent a ton of time in the backpacking, in the outdoors, in the backcountry, I mean, this is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. It's the people, the weekend warriors who litter with actual trash everywhere. Those people are the problems, who have no respect for the outdoors. Most people, 99% of people who set up rock cairns do it for the right reason. And you don't just go kick them all over because there's a couple idiots. And if there is a problem spot where it's been overdone, then put up a sign and educate people and catch people doing it and fix the problem. I mean, really. I'm starting to think the National Park Service has totally lost their way. I don't know what it is. They think they're protecting the outdoors, and in the process, they're just being idiots. And people are destroying these places, trashing it. They're not doing anything about that. And they're just going after American flags and people who put up rocks, apparently. That's what we need to worry about. So next time you see a rock cairn, don't kick it over. If you come up to something, someplace where people have built 50 of them, and it looks a little bit like, hey, this is probably not the greatest idea, then go tell the Park Service or go notify staff and tell them to do something about it. Anyways, that's my rant for today. Have a good one.